excited to be here today, just getting ready to welcome you back to in-person worship. I wanted to just let you know that the leadership team that we've assembled to kind of work through all of the things that we've been having to deal with and talk about through this whole COVID-19 experience, they've been great to work with, and we've been diligently trying to put together the plans to be ready for all that we have to do to gather again in person. We are ready to do that. We feel like we've got a good plan ready to implement. And so we have set June 21st as our date for regathering in person. And we're going to have one service at 10:45 on that Sunday morning. And so we wanted to let you know a few things today. Maybe a lot of things today, so that you can begin to be prepared, or so that you can be as prepared as possible when you come on June the 21st. Kind of a 5-step process I want to walk you through today that we've put together so that, and we're going to do our best to make this seem as friendly as we can see, as make it without it seeming to be really mechanical. But we know this, we're excited. I am really excited to be setting this date and getting us ready to do this again. Again, we know that we're going to miss something. We know that there's going to be some things that are going to seem to be uncomfortable. We know that there are many and varied opinions on all that's happened and all that is happening as it relates to this COVID-19 pandemic. What we ask is that what we've put in place, that you understand, and that we feel like we're doing all of these things with your safety in mind. And so we want you to be safe, and we want you to feel safe, but we want you to be ready to worship as well. And we ask that you just be gracious as you come. If you have to wait just a few minutes through the process of getting you in and seated, and understand what it is and why we're doing it. So again, we've got what we feel is a good plan. It's about a 5-step process that we don't want it to be mechanical, but it's going to start with our sign-up. We have a sign-up available for you online, or you can call the church office at 878-9223, which is not the right number. It's 816-252-3555. If you call me, I'll get you on the list, but if you call Leslie, it'll be better at 816-252-3555. And Leslie can get you signed up. The reason for the sign up is twofold. One, we're limiting capacity in the sanctuary, and so we just need to know when we've reached that capacity limit. And the second piece of that is for our seating arrangements, which may need to be changed from time to time based on the group size that you've got, whether you're a single or whether you're a couple or whether you're a family group with some children. We just need to know how many different seating arrangements we'll need to do that. And the easiest way for us to pre-plan for that is if you sign up. So that's step one, is the sign up. Step two is when you arrive here on Sunday morning, June the 21st. The doors will open at 10:30, and so we're going to meet at. The service will start at 10:45, and so we have some things that are going to have to happen as you get here. The greeting piece of that, we're going to meet you in the parking lot. And as we meet you and greet you, they'll begin to ask you some questions, kind of some general health questions and some things about the last couple of weeks as part of your overall health. Have you experienced a fever or been coughing or sneezing? Allergy related, if you've had any kind of nausea or vomiting or shortness of breath. They'll just begin that screening process. The greeters will open the front doors for you, which will be the doors on the east side of the building, the 291 highway side of the building, the main entry doors. They'll be the only doors that we're going to use for entry into the building on that Sunday. So just plan to park according to those doors being open. And then they will kind of hand you off to step 3, which is the screening process, the rest of those questions, and just to make sure that we feel like, and you feel like you're as healthy as you need to be here. Those general health questions. We will take your temperature, and we'll ask that you go home and view the service online if your temperature is 100 or above. And then we'll also check to make sure that the mask that you've brought and that you're wearing is on, and that it is on and being worn properly. After we get through that screening piece, that will hand you off to be seated in the sanctuary, and we will be practicing social distancing in our seating. And so there'll be some seats that are available to sit in, and there'll be some pews that are not available to sit in, and we'll seat you based on kind of your preference in the sanctuary, and then also by the size of your group. So if you have a need to sit at the back of the sanctuary, you're going to have to get here early to make your preference known. Be asked that there'll be no handshakes and no hugs and no ballroom dancing in the sanctuary as we are practicing those social distancing guidelines as well. The last piece of that, after we sing together and we pray together and we open the Word together in worship, will be the exit process, and that's going to be kind of the reverse of the seating process, much like you would experience at a wedding. We'll exit the building or the sanctuary from the rear by rows, and then you can use either of the main doors out on 291 or the other doors out here by the stairs to exit to go out back to the parking lot. Again, we're excited to be able to do that, and so we just want you to know a couple more things. Again, mainly as it relates to the social distancing piece. We're not going to have a handshake time. We're not going to have a greeting time. We're going to ask you to just kind of maintain that social distancing between you and each other. No hugging, no handshaking, none of that. We will not be passing an offering plate. We'll have boxes available in the foyer, 2 boxes that have been made graciously for us by J.R. Jacobs. And so we ask that you would just drop your offering in one of those 2 boxes, either on your way in or on your way out. You can continue to give online. You can continue to mail your tithes in. I personally want to say thank you for your faithfulness in giving throughout the time that we've not been able to gather for worship. That has been amazing what you guys have done, and how we've just continued to be faithful to all that God has called us to do as it relates to our finances. We have not experienced anything close to what I really kind of expected to see as far as a dip in our finances. So I want to say thank you for that. As far as the building itself goes, we're going to have the lobby and the sanctuary and the restrooms are going to be open. The rest of the building is going to be closed off, and we're not going to have access to any of the nursery area or the upstairs Sunday school rooms or any of the youth areas. None of that will be able to be accessed during the first few weeks of our gathered worship. We ask again that you would just wear your mask while you're inside the building, and that you would maintain that social distance between each other. I hope you're ready. I'm glad that you've chosen to worship with us if you've signed up, and I'm excited to be gathering together again for worship. Be praying for us as we continue to plan, and we'll just be sure to give God all the glory for everything that He's going to do as we gather again for worship on June the 21st at 10:45 a.m.